Namaskar Mandai. If you are a Mumbaikar or have been to Mumbai couple of times, chances are that you have heard of JJ. JJ Flyover, JJ Hospital, JJ School of Heart, JJ Shiv Shankar. But who is this JJ? Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about India's first knight, Bombay's most worthy son, Apno Dikra, Sir Jamsetjee Jejeebhoy. जमशेदजी का लाइफ स्टोरी एकदम हिंदी पिक्चर के माफिक है. Jamsetjee was born in 1783 in a poor Parsi family and at the age of 16 lost both his parents. He then moved to Bombay to join his uncle's business of bottles. His uncle used to sell empty bottles. It is during this time that he got the nickname Batliwala, and he liked the name so much that he used to sign all his letters as Batliwala. At the age of 20, he got married to his uncle's daughter Avabai, and he also started traveling to China to trade and learn new businesses. जमशेदजी के खून में बिजनेस भरा था और सिर्फ एक बाटली से उनका काम नहीं होने वाला था. It was during one of his trips to China that something happened, something that would change Jamsetjee's life forever and also alter the course of Bombay's history. Jamsetjee used to travel to China in British East India Company's naval ships. During this time, there was a war going on between Britain and France called the Napoleonic Wars. So whenever a British ship would encounter a French ship, there would be the naval war between them. And हमारे जमशेदजी बीच में फंस जाते थे. 3 टाइम तो जमशेदजी बच गए, but on the 4th time he was captured by the French and taken to Cape of Good Hope in South Africa. सबको लगा जमशेदजी गए, but somehow Jamsetjee managed to come back to Bombay. During his time as the prisoner, he met Jardine, who was a doctor on the British East India Company ship he was traveling on. Jardine British East India Company से रिटायर होने वाला था और खुद का बिजनेस सेटअप करने वाला था हांगकांग में. उसने जमशेदजी को ऑफर दिया उसको ज्वाइन करने का और जमशेदजी ने वो एक्सेप्ट कर लिया. Britain used to import a lot of tea from China, because of which the British were losing a lot of money. The British needed to find an alternative, something that the Chinese needed as much as they needed tea. So the British started selling them opium, हफीम. साला ये लोग ने अपने को चाय का आदत लगाया, अपन ये लोग को हफीम का आदत लगाएगा. As you can imagine, opium was a very profitable commodity. So Jardine and Jejeebhoy got involved in it. Jejeebhoy used to get opium from within India and supply it to Jardine in Hong Kong, who would then distribute it all over China. At one point, Jardine and Jejeebhoy were controlling 1/3 of the opium trade in China. By the time he was 40, Jamsetjee was already one of the most richest man in India. But the story doesn't end here, and the second innings are about to start. भाई पैसा तो बहुत कमा लिया, अब इज्जत कमाते. Not that Jamsetjee did not have इज्जत. He was already well known in the business circles amongst his Indian counterparts and also the Europeans. However, Jamsetjee always thought big, life में कुछ बड़ा करने का. So when his son was old enough, he stepped away from the business and entered public and philanthropy life.
Philanthropy.
He wanted to give back to the community, to the city, and to the country that had treated him so well. He started by paying off the debts of all the prisoners in Bombay's civil jail. He then went on to finance many public works like roads, wells, reservoirs, schools, and hospitals. His generosity was so well known that people from all over started approaching him for help. Even the proud Punekars approached a person from Bombay. Could you imagine that?
तुमच्या मुंबईकडे स्वतःचं म्हणण्यासारखं काय ग?
They approached him to fix the water system and nalas of Pune city.
मुंबईकडे स्वतःचं म्हणण्यासारखं काय ग?
Jamsetjee gave 2/3 of the money required to build the water system in Pune. He always felt that Bombay should have a good hospital and so approached the governor of Bombay to build one. The British were not only shocked but also surprised. A local आदमी was telling them what to do and was also ready to give them money to do it. He not only funded the construction, donated the land, but was also part of the planning committee which was responsible for standing up the hospital and the college area. Although not formally educated, he donated to numerous schools, most prominently the JJ School of Arts, which was named after him because of his generous donation. He also supported journalism by sponsoring the Bombay Samachar and then later the Bombay Times, which would go on to become the Times of India. इंसान तो इंसान, अपनो सर जमशेदजी जेजेबॉय ने तो जानवरों के लिए भी दिल खोल के पैसा दिया. He constructed many shelters for stray animals, and there is also a story about how he donated a land close to Marine Drive for animals to graze, because the British were charging fee for animals to graze in Azad Maidan, and the area came to be known as Charni because animals were churring there, and when they built a station there, they called it Charni Road. I could not find a source of this story, so this is probably just an urban legend. As you can see, Jamsetjee's list of generosity just keeps on going. Eventually, the British made him part of the Bombay governance because of his stature and respect throughout the city. It was during this time in 1842 that he became the first Indian to be knighted. Knighted matlab you get to put Sir in front of your name. So Jamsetjee becomes Sir Jamsetjee Jejeebhoy. By becoming a knight of the British Empire, Sir Jamsetjee Jejeebhoy opened up the doors for Indians to be seen on equal footing with their British counterpart. Eventually, for his continuous contribution to the society and Bombay in particular, he was awarded with the Baronet of Bombay. Knighthood सिर्फ एक particular person को मिलता है, but baronet is for his entire family, for his line, for his vansh. So if Sir Jamsetjee Jejeebhoy has a son, he can also put the title Sir, but only when his father dies, and he also has to take his father's name. So the title will always be Sir Jamsetjee Jejeebhoy. The first person will be called Sir Jamsetjee Jejeebhoy first baronet, the second one be second baronet, and so on. Even today, Sir Jamsetjee Jejeebhoy 8th baronet exists. He's Rustamji Manikji. He's on the board of Tata Groups. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you got to learn something about Bombay's most worthy son. And before you leave, I want to tell you one more story about the Jejeebhoys. As I told you in the last video, Bombay used to be a group of 7 islands. The 7 islands eventually came together. But by 1841, they were still not connected to the Salsette Islands, which are today Mumbai suburbs. People used to travel in boats from Mahim to Bandra, or used to walk on the swampy areas. But during high tide or the rains, there used to be a lot of accidents which amounted in the loss of human lives. People wanted the British government to construct a causeway joining Mahim and Bandra, but the British government was not interested. They said, "किसको जाने का Bandra? क्यों जाने का Bandra? उधर क्या रखा है? इधर रहो ना चुपचाप." That is when Lady Avabai, wife of Jamsetjee Jejeebhoy, decided to step in and pay for the entire construction of the causeway joining Mahim and Bandra. But she had some conditions. Condition number 1, no one should be asked for any money to use this causeway, so no tolls. Condition number 2, existing Kori communities on both sides of the islands should not be disturbed. And condition number 3, this is very important. She said that rickshaws should not come on this side. They should stay on Bandra side and should not be allowed on the city islands. The third condition is not true. Thank you.